Hello, everybody. It says we're live. I think we're live. Let me move this camera a little bit. Woo, plant. Let me adjust this just a hair. Looks like it's a little bit off. Not much, but a little bit. Avoid the plant. Hi, everyone. We'll wait a few moments. It says we're live, but I want to make sure we're really live. Hello, Speedy. All right. Hi, Robin. Hello, Marlene. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Crazy Cat Lady. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Heather Collins. Hello, Nancy. Speedy, probably like an hour or two. Hello, Shannon. Hi, everyone. So today I am excited because I get to share with you a free gift. It's a limited free gift. It's only available as a free gift until tomorrow, and then the free gift will be available to purchase later. But why not get it for free instead of purchasing it? And I'm really excited because we have our Crafty and Proud shirts again. So let me step back because it is every color of the rainbow. And I'm wearing mine today. It's a tie-dye. Thank you, Speedy. So I get to share with you today the really, really cool free gift. So we will head down to the table and I'm going to show you how this free gift works. So let's go ahead down onto the table. Let's move this out of the way. So the free gift is called Heart Link. So this, it's so good to see you too, Tisha. So this is one of those ideas that I woke up in the middle of the night and I had this idea for this stencil and I did not want to rest until I could figure out how to make this stencil become a reality. So and I can kind of show you, because I don't know that I've ever shown you how things happen and come to life and how things, become an idea in my mind and I have to figure out how to make them into a real life product. And so this was the original kind of sketch out for what the idea would be. And you can see kind of my crazy ramblings of what this stencil would become. And the idea was, and what I wanted to happen and hope that I could make happen, was that all of these hearts would interlink within one another. But I wanted it to be one stencil that you could do all of the different colors and not have to worry about using multiple stencils or layering stencils, or I didn't want you to have to think, okay? I wanted to do all the thinking for you because let's face it, we don't want to think when we're crafting. We just want to be able to just create and make really cool stuff, right? I mean, that's what I want to do. So I did the thinking for you. So this was the original idea and the madness that was in my mind with the cut and the overlap and the repeat and yada, yada, yada. So from this became kind of the blueprint. And this blueprint gets shipped off to Daryl, who is our newest employee. Hello, Daryl, if you're watching. And what he does is he goes in and he actually takes this idea and turns it into, or actually fires it off on the laser, and we get a sample. And this is the sample that I got, and I tried it, I tested it, and it worked beautifully. So now we have an actual product, which I think is so incredibly cool and so exciting. So another thing that I've created for all of you that is listed on the website that I'm going to try to do, now don't mind this, my printer was having an issue, but I'm now going to be creating for you these sizing guides. So the way the sizing guides will work is if it is a stencil that is, a specialty stencil like this, or even maybe just a regular stencil, a regular everyday stencil that we have that does some different cool things. This guide is going to show you what it would potentially look like on 3 different card sizes. These are the 3 most popular card sizes. A2, this is what it would look like if it was centered on an A2. A7, this is what it would look like if it was centered on an A7. And then on a slim line, I just gave you this idea of how you could kind of off-center it and still create a really cool pattern on your slimline card. So I wanted to give you a couple of different ideas for how you could use it before you actually get it. Hello, Gina. So these are the 3 different sizes that you can utilize the stencil on, but you can use it however you want. Use it on a 12 by 12, use it on a 6 by 6. Whatever makes you happy, that's what you can use this stencil on. But I wanted to show you how this stencil works, because I know that it can be a little bit confusing whenever you are first creating with a stencil that kind of does something different and does something unique. So I thought, why not come on here and show you exactly how it works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a piece of the Perfect Blend. This is the Perfect Blend Brutus Monroe cardstock. We've had this for years now, and it is, in my humble opinion, the best paper that you will ever use for blending and for alcohol marker coloring. It is just the absolute best. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a couple of other tools. We're going to use some of the blending brushes from my good friend Taylor, and then we are going to use the Simon Hurley inks. We're going to use, obviously, the free stencil, and we're also going to use the Stick and Stamp mat and the Blending Buddy, because the Blending Buddy is imperative for a project like this one. And I'll tell you why in 1 second. So let me grab my paper trimmer. We'll cut our paper down to A2 size, which is 4 1/4. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our Blending Buddy, and this Blending Buddy is going to make sure that this particular stencil is perfectly centered. Grab our Stick and Stamp mat. Don't leave home without it. And now we're going to grab our Blending Buddy, and we're just going to place so the Blending Buddy fits perfectly on top of your Stick and Stamp mat. Now you just want to make sure that you kind of line it up with this. So there's a guideline that's on here. You want to line it up with that, okay? Got it? So far so good? Now we're going to grab our piece of A2 paper, and we're going to place it right here where the mat is still sticky, okay? So it fits right there in the center. Now this whole apparatus that we've created, actually let me try to center it a little bit better. But it really doesn't matter. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So now, hello Candy. So now we have a perfect blending surface, right? So I'm gonna take my stencil and I'm gonna pop it into these little tabs here. So the Blending Buddy has these special little tabs that hold your stencil in place. Now, we're not going to use this for the whole time. We're not going to use the tabs the whole time because, let's face it, we are going to have to shift this stencil a little bit. But once you get it in there, it's there to stay, and it's going to hold this right where we want it to be. And you can make sure that everything's straight and lined up because you can use your little guide marks. And there we go. So now our stencil is completely lined up. Now this is just lined up for the first pass. I don't want you to think that you are going to utilize this for the entire thing. You're only going to use the, I mean, you can technically use the Blending Buddy a couple of times if you want on this, but I'm just using it right now to hold the stencil here, and then it's going to protect the rest of our Stick and Stamp mat while we're blending the rest of the way. So I think you'll get the gist in just a second. So now we're going to take our Love Struck, which is the first color we're going to use, which is red, and we're just going to blend within an inch of our lives. And now you don't have to be super, super, super precise because, again, everything's being held down by our Stick and Stamp mat. So I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to blend this. And we're starting again with Love Struck. Hello, Denise. And make sure that you probably will want to put a little tiny bit of tape down. When you're blending as aggressively as I am, you probably won't be as aggressive of a blender as I am. But you know me, when I'm blending in colors, I want it to be so super saturated. But again, you want to hold on to your, you want to hold on to your stencil when you're blending. Okay. So now the beauty of this particular stencil, and I'm glad that we started with a red because it's a deeper color, Do you see here how there are little marks? Do you see those little marks that have been made much more pronounced by utilizing the red ink? So all you're going to do is you're going to take this, you're going to pop it out of your blending buddy area. So there's our very first heart. Doesn't look very impressive right now, right? It's kind of iffy at this point. You're like, what the heck is this going to become? So all you're going to do, so see how these marks are lined up for you? You are just going to shift it over to the next one, okay? Do you see how that lines up there perfectly? And I think I am going to grab just a piece of the Brutus Renault, and I believe this is out of stock. It's coming back, everybody. So there are two different things that I'm using. I'm using a blending buddy, and I'm also using, I'm using a blending buddy, and I am using a stick and stamp mat. And I'm actually going to put this tape on here, not just to hold the stencil down, but also so that we don't get anything on the outside of this, okay? And again, the Brutus Renault Rainbow tape should be back soon. All of a sudden, you all bought it all up very quickly, and it like came out of nowhere. So now I'm going to go in, and I'm just using the traffic cone color, and I'm just blending. Now, for me, I don't mind that some of that other color is mixing in. That might terrify you. That you might be like, Christopher, you need to clean that stencil right after you start blending. For me, it doesn't bug me. So if it bugs you, you can clean your stencil in between. It doesn't get me worked up. I kind of like when the colors blend a little bit. Okay, so now we have our orange. Okay, so next up we need a beautiful yellow. My favorite yellow from Simon is Over the Moon. So we're gonna lift this up again, and you're gonna see a little sneak peek. Look at how those, now this goes under, and it's just really cool. So let me grab my tape real quick, and we're gonna go all the way around. Okay, so next we're going to, again, line it up, and this is going to protect all of your other pieces, okay? So as you're doing this, this will protect all of the other hearts. That's why and once we're all done, once we're done with all the colors, you'll see that the rest of the paper was protected by the stencil. All right, so now we're going to go in with Over the Moon. And again, remember, we're going to pick up a little bit of that color from before, but I kind of like that. It adds depth, it adds dimension. It really makes this look like it has been, whoops, I don't know that we need this piece here because the blending buddy is protecting the mat. So we can, and I would suggest if you're using this setup to use a little bit of pixie spray, because for this little piece in the center here, you just want to be careful with it. It does kind of move a little bit once you, now I've used this stencil probably like at least 15 times since yesterday testing it, so I really have been aggressive with my particular stencil, but I'm sure you won't be as aggressive as I have been. All right, so now we're going to grab a green. So pop this up. Look how it's all linking together. All right, so now we're going to grab this. And now you'll see as you go along, you want to make sure that all of these pieces are lined up. So you can, and now I'm going to tape this real quick so you can see what I mean. Because it's very important that all of these line up so that your final link is actually linked together. So do you see what I mean here? Let me see if you can see on the camera. See how all of these other ones are now lined up with the rest of the stencil? It's important that you make sure that it's lined up all the way through. This is one that really you can't mess up. You're gonna try it, you can try it a couple of times, see if it works well for you. If it doesn't work the first time, just keep going. Just flip your paper over, right? Flip it over. Hi, Nancy. So next, we're going to grab what color is this? I think it's Fake Plant, or no, Later Gator. And we're just gonna go in and we're gonna blend, be gentle towards this top area, because remember, we don't wanna go underneath of it. But you could even add like a little piece of tape under there if you want to. You know, get to know your stencil. Get to know where you're going to want to be a little bit gentler, and get to know where it makes the most sense to blend very deeply and not very deeply. Hello, Amy. All right, so next we're going to flip it around. And this is, obviously I'm doing this much slower to showcase it while we are live, but when you're doing it and you get the hang of it, you'll be able to zip right on through this. All right, so I'm just lining up my other ones, grabbing my tape again, and I'm only using this tape really at the top over on this side. Hello, Donna. I loved your project that you posted today, my dear. I saw that project. It was great. Was that for, was it a nephew? I can't remember exactly who you said you made it for. All right, so we're gonna need a light blue, so we'll use Clear Skies first. I'm so glad that everybody's joining in. And remember, this stencil is free with any purchase. There's no minimum amount that you have to spend. Any purchase, it goes right into your cart. There's no minimums that need to be met, and it is only good until tomorrow. Now, you will be able to purchase this stencil separately, but I mean, why not get it for free? Get something you've been eyeing up in your cart, and then get this for free. A friend, okay. I mean, I like it when I can get a free gift, right? Who doesn't? All right, so now we're moving on to the next one, which is going to be no diving. And remember, make sure that you're lining up your entire wreath or your entire link here. So you'll be able to see when you're putting this up that all those pieces line up now with the other ones. Shippable order, yeah. I mean, technically you can get it with a digital order. I should say that because we have had that question before. Technically, you can get it with a digital order, but the only problem, whoops, and I just knocked that right out of there. The only problem with the digital order is that you will pay freight. So, I mean, you're gonna pay freight on a regular order anyway, but if you're purchasing something digital, you're just going to pay the freight on the actual stencil. Hope that makes sense. In this tape, I've gotten way too much ink on it, so it is fighting me. But all I need for you to do is just hold up for 2 more. Tape, just 2 more is all I need. Please, just hold up for 2 more. All right, so now we need, now we need the dark blue, no diving. Isn't it great, Shannon? This is one of those stencils that as soon as I had it in my mind and I said I cannot wait to get to work to design it. I could not wait. I was like, this has to be a stencil. And I mean, you all know, you that have been with me for quite some time, that generally I design things for me that I really, really want, and I hope that you love them too. Oh, yes, absolutely. Come to the Brutus and Rowe YouTube channel at 8 Eastern Standard Time and hang out with Candy. Michelle, not yet. Unfortunately, we've hit a little bit of a roadblock with our manufacturer that's manufacturing it. We've hit the roadblocks that we've hit this year, my goodness, with manufacturing and stuff, but it is still in the works, Michelle. I promise you will be the first one that I call. I promise, my friend. All right, so now, last but certainly not least, remember, get everything lined up. And if you line up the whole piece, it will be absolutely perfect for this last one. So this is the moment of truth, right, everyone? This is the, oh my goodness, did Christopher design it? Did Christopher design it correctly? Because if he didn't, it all comes down to this final link. If this final link doesn't work, then we just blended everything for nothing, right? We've been blending away for absolutely no reason if this final link doesn't work. So we're going to use Triple Berry for our very last color. And it's going to be a little bit deeper than the normal Triple Berry because remember, there is some blue that is still left on this stencil, but I like that because I feel like it adds depth and dimension to when I'm blending. And this paper, I tell you, if you have not used the Perfect Blend paper yet for blending your inks and alcohol marker coloring, it just accepts the ink so beautifully. I mean, it looks like it's printed. It looks like it's printed. Oh, good. I will let them know. Thank you so very much. They have been working very hard on those turnaround times. So are you ready for the grand reveal? So here it is. All of the colors. And now this is going to be one of those things that when you give someone this card, they are going to say, how in the heck did they do that? So we're going to just peel this right off of our stick and stamp mat. Gentle. And there we go. It is going to be one of those cards that when you give this to someone, they are going to say, how in the heck did you do that? How did you create? Because again, they interlock within one another. So it's one of those situations where once somebody sees this and they see that you have created this card, they're going to say, now wait a second. Hello in Belgium. They're going to say, now wait a second. How in the heck did you get that to do that? Right? I think it's so cool. It's just so different. I wanted something that was different and fun. Now, something else that you could do with this is you could go in, if you would like, with like an embossing ink. And you could use an embossing ink to create like just one heart. So this is the way the heart actually would go. But you would be able to use, let's see if I have an embossing ink. I don't know if I want to use, let's see. What do I have over here? I was thinking maybe it might be cool to use a glitter glaze. But do I have a glitter glaze? I do. I even have what is this? I have an alabaster. I also have a silver. So, I mean, you could, hello, Tracy. You could really, I mean, the sky's the limit. Or you could even go in, let's see, let's do something real fun. Do you have time for something real fun? Let me know. Because you know me, once I start going, it's really hard for me to stop. Do y'all have time for one more trick? If not, that's okay. You won't hurt my feelings. Well, thank you, everyone. Okay, all right. Now, I hope I don't disappoint now that I've gotten everybody. Tell everybody that we have time for one more trick. All right, so I don't know if y'all have ever heard of this. So this is the foil reactive embossing powder. It's one of my favorite products of all time that we've come out with at Brutus Monroe. By a show of hands, who has used this product? Anyone out there? Has anyone used this product before? I'm trying to find my brush for it. I probably won't need the brush for this, but it wouldn't hurt to have it. You have? Okay. So we've had some folks that have used this before. Good. All right, so before I do this next trick, I'm going to clean off my stencil because we don't want things to get too crazy here. I know that sounds silly. New size of Squeaky Clean coming soon. Hasn't been released yet, doesn't have a label yet, but it's coming. Alright, so I'm just cleaning off my stencil. Getting it good in. And I hope, oh good, it is in stock. Alright. That was going to be my next question. Is it in stock? Okay, so we have a choice. And I don't know if this is in stock or not. Sandra, if you go to brutusmonroe.com, there should be a list of where you can get them, but you can order it directly from us. This is actually a 4 ounce. It's a 4 ounce. I don't know, is this foil on the website? This is the red static, I believe is what it's called. This is also something you can get at Brutus Monroe. I don't know if it's in stock, so I hate using things if they're not in stock because people get very mad at me. But this is the Rotary Tool that we carry at Brutus Monroe. Hi, Jerry. I'm going to be doing a lot more lives now. It's just, I've been so crazy busy. crazy busy. And I miss all of you so much. I sure do. So I'm not sure if this still is on the website or not. I hope so. So I'm going to use actually, no, I'm not. It's in stock. On sale? How much is it on sale for? I didn't know it was on sale. That's great. So I'm just going to take this, and I'm not going to use the stick and stamp mat because it's not that serious. And I'm just going to grab my embossing ink. Just going to line this up, and I'm just going to press my embossing ink right into, this was just recently re-inked, and I didn't know that. So it is this, we had a heavy pour. We had a real heavy pour right out of the gate. So hopefully this all dries the way that I want it to. Very heavy pour right out of the gate. All right, so we'll lift that up. Oh, yep, it should be good. And we are going to grab some of our Brutus Monroe Foil Reactive Embossing Powder. I'm just going to use the back of this. Foil Reactive Embossing Powder. And we are going to just pour that right on top of there. It looks like I got a little bit in some areas I didn't want. So I'm just going to sweep that off of there. Because it's my fault. I didn't make sure that the rest of this was dry. But I mean, you guys will get the idea. All right, tap, 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 tap. If we get into any other areas, it's okay. No biggie. So we're just gonna heat set this then. Whoops. And you'll be able to tell where the foil reactive powder is because it'll be shiny. And we may have gotten it in another area, which is no big deal. Okay. So I think that's a good coverage. I mean, it's a good coverage for deciding to do it about, 30 minutes into the live. All right. So then all we're going to do is we just want to make, I was looking at the website the other day. I was looking for something I could use for my dad at Father's Day card, but I'm out of time now. Oh no. Well, I'll just call the store. Heather can always help you out. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I have my laminator all heated up. Doesn't say it's ready yet though. We're almost there. But I'm just going to take a little piece of this foil. Just got dust all over it. And we're just going to cut out a little piece. Oh, good, good, good. Well, there you go. See, ask and you shall receive. Oh, it says it's ready, so. And we're just going to feed this through. Perfect. There we go. But I mean, imagine using this technique, using this stencil. I mean, there's a million different things you could use this stencil for. Really, a million different things. Whether you're using some foil or you're using some, you're using foil, you're using, oh yes, Carol, I know, I know. I miss you all so very much. And I promise I'm going to go live a lot more often. We built this fancy new studio and I haven't been live in weeks. I promise that I will be live more often. I miss you all so very much. Okay, so now we take it out of the laminator. Let it cool for a second. That's the trick. You got to let it cool. Let's turn off our laminator and unplug it. Always make sure that you either, number one, unplug your tools or turn off the surge protector. I generally just turn it off. Okay, and then we're ready for the reveal. Are y'all ready? Just trying to go through the comments real quick. And remember, this is a free gift with any purchase today and tomorrow. Isn't it great? And I love that it's a little, it depends, Candy. You can have it a little bit on the thicker side, but what happens is once it gets heated in the laminator, it actually becomes sticky. In this, just as a heads up, the foil reactive embossing powder will not work on like a fine image. So you don't want to use it on anything fine. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and peel this off. So it did get a little bit on this area, but you can go in and you can use your eraser from Tombow. We don't have them anymore because we literally can't get them to save our lives because it removes foil so well. But look, now we just have foil on the red heart. Isn't that amazing? I just can't get enough of this. Now, of course, if you want to use my all-time favorite foil of all time, my second all-time favorite foil of all time that isn't a Brutus Monroe branded foil, which is the shattered glass, the rainbow shattered glass, you can just go in and do just one. You could do something really cool like all of these could be blended in grays, different shades of gray, or maybe a black ink, and then just do one heart in this beautiful rainbow. I mean, the options are unlimited. Really unlimited. But I just think that turned out so cool. And we did this with one stencil. So it wasn't one of those stencils where you have to layer, you know, like we have them that I think 3 is like the most amount of stencils that I want to use. I don't want to get involved with like some of these stencils. There's like 15, 16 stencils. This is the stencil. This is it. That's it. That's all she wrote. You just need, yeah, it is very sharp. I almost lost a finger one day with it. I'm going to clean off this stencil again. But yeah, just one stencil. That's all it is. And I don't know, have y'all seen the new stencils at BrutusMonroe.com? We just launched kind of behind the scenes. I think it went out in an email yesterday. 4 new stencils. One is called Hang 10, which is a really cool stencil for waves and different backgrounds. Another one is, so we have Hang 10. Wait a second. I think that, oh no, I can't go over there. I don't have my keys. I think that there might be some samples in the laser. We have a whole brand new, Oh, so Decofoil, there is select Decofoil that's 5% off if you're a subscriber. If you're a subscriber. Yes. There are select products that are 5% off for you if you are a subscriber. That's why. Yep. So Hang 10 is one of them. Star Bright, I think it is, or Star Bright, Star Shine, Star. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Candy. Fancy Fan, which is a super cool one. Fancy Fan, Hang 10, Sea Scene, and Starlight. Perfect, Candy. They are so cool. So if you have a chance to head over to Brutus Monroe and take a look at them, I think you're really going to love them. So, all right, my friends, that's all that I have for you today. I want to thank you all so very much for being a part of my life. And thank you so much for hanging out with me this afternoon and taking a look at this really cool stencil, again, that you just kind of shift around and it makes this beautiful wreath. And you can add some foil to it if you want. But I just love the way that it really tricks your mind into thinking, how did they get that to do that? How did they get that to interlock like that? Is that a stamp? Is that a stencil? So I think that's super, super cool. So that is everything that I have for you all today. Thank you all so much for being a part of my life. Thank you for hanging out with me. Remember to create something every single day, whether that is your own rainbow interlocking heart wreath or your own ending. I appreciate you all so much. And remember to have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye, my friends.